Amigos, hope you all are mentally fit. It is so good to see you again. So today I'm here to thank all of my friends who attended my webinar on a section of relationship which we are doing, and it was a wonderful experience sharing the learnings and listening to the problems, answering to the questions. It was quite challenging, but I think we did good. So today I'm here to share a little bit about the webinar we did. So the topic about the webinar was that why we are not able to move from a relationship which is hurting us from a very long time. What are the points, what are the fears and everything related to it, and what we can do about it. And the second part was divided to the solutions that once we are moved out of a relationship, why it keeps haunting us and why it stops our growth. So I am going to share just one point in short with you, which I discussed with my friends, which actually helped 60% of them to go home, and they literally thought about it and they came back to me and said it really, really worked. So I'm going to tell you that point only which really worked for them, and I got good reviews, and really they did some brainstorming regarding that point. So why we are not able to move away from the people who are constantly hurting us, or why we are not able to move away from that relationship. In that webinar, I particularly spoke about couple relationships, but it can be applied to any relationship. It can be parents, children, it can be your friends, it can be your colleagues, it can be your work relationship. Yes, this can be applied to anyone. It's a universal mantra, and there are some logics to it. Okay, so I'll ask you one question. If you were given a choice to choose between pleasure and pain, what will you choose? Yes, I can hear, and my answer would be obviously we will choose plain. We are not robots. We love ourselves. We are human beings, and we always want to be in our comfort zone. But we never realize that that comfort zone can actually give us pain in long run. That exactly we do with our relationships. So when we are in a toxic relationship, a relationship which is hurting us, we always choose the pleasure of staying in the relationship rather than the pain. We don't want to tolerate the pain from moving that relationship. Our tendency as human, and we are not robots, is to choose the easier option always, be it anything, be it anything. These are called shortcuts of life. So we apply these shortcuts in our relationship. If you are having an abusive relationship, if you are having a hurtful relationship, your partner is not loving you, or your partner is cheating in you, instead of all those turbulences in the relationship, we still remain in relationship only because we feel that if we move away from that person, it is going to hurt us more. Then the questions come, how are we gonna stay without that person? Oh my god, I'm not going to see that person anymore. If the reasons can be many, it can be addiction, which I have already discussed in my webinar. I'm not going to discuss here everything because for that you have to attend my webinar. So just giving this point as a referral to you so that I can help those who are still stuck in a relationship. So friends, there is a very thin line between self-ego and self-respect. I'm a big believer, I'm a sucker of relationships. I want to save relationships as much as I can. So as a mentor or as a guide, I really don't want any of the people to broke their relationship. But yes, if that relationship is gives you a lot of suffering, give you pain, or you're getting hurt, then it's the time to move on. Now the problem comes when we are not able to decide when to move out of that relationship, and we will never been able to decide. That is the problem why we keep hurting ourselves more and more, because I'm saying it again. We feel, okay, we are with that person today. No matter how much we are getting hurt, it's okay. No matter how that person is treating us, it's okay. But at least we are with that person for that 1 minute or pleasure, for that at least that we are with that person, for that addiction. We hurt ourselves again and again, which going to affect our lives forever. That's why we have miserable relationships, which are, we are running from ages, and the people are not able to fall out of it even they are old. Now the point is, when you are going to move out from relationship, when does actually people move out of from relationship, and they don't know that the damages already happen. So why this depression, anxiety comes? when the pain of staying when the pain of staying is more than the pain of leaving, then you leave. And that's where all the trouble is there. When in a relationship, the pain of staying in relationship becomes greater than the pain of leaving, then is the time we decide to leave. But then what happens, that we are so much damaged, we are suffering from depressions, anxiety, then we finally decide to move on when all that damage has already happened to us, and we actually just want to stay in relationship just because it was okay. But then when the pain of staying in relationship increases than the pain of leaving, we leave. That's why when we fall out of or move out of a toxic relationship, but we don't know the consequences of it. So my whole agenda in the seminar was when to find that time, the correct time, when can you actually calculate when to move on and the right time to move on. And there is a very, very thin line between it. And once you are able to find out what is more painful, the staying in relationship or moving out of relationship, you will be able to make your move. A person never leaves a relationship just because they fear that pain of leaving that person is more than the pain of staying in a relationship. That's why we keep on absorbing all the bad things our partners give to us. So it's time to take a call. It's time to raise your voice. It's time to just analyze your things, that when is that time when your suffering of staying in relationship becomes more than the suffering of leaving, and when that move can happen. If you are able to find this, you would never leave from a relationship in depression, anxiety, and when after effects will be also not so vigorous, you will be okay with that. And yes, this is the one thing I want you all to analyze. This is one point which actually affected one of my friends, and I got a call from Himaha. I can't actually tell the name, but yes, if you are able to process this within yourself and within your relationships, you will never be hurt to leave, and also the after effects of a broken relationship will be less miserable, and you will be able to cope up with it. Okay, so I'm going to take your leave, and I'm going to conduct one more webinar on the relationships. I think there will be many set of topics in this relationship series which I am doing. So probably I would be doing this next Sunday as well, and you can watch out my space for what topic I'm discussing and to attend my webinar. And I will also share quickly how the webinar works. It's a 2 hours of webinar. 1 hour I discussed about the topic, and second hour I take all the questions and answers of my friends, and you can DM me to register. All right, and I hope you all can save yourself from getting hurt from this and save your relationships as well. All right, take care. Bye bye.